月の光に誓って愛と正義の力で戦う星々が味方する因果を守護者たち。
Blessed be all my Aries people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological weather forecast for May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, you just need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, because you do want to know when my other videos on this channel come out. So what's going on with your astrology weather for the month of May? May is a stellium saga. We have got a ton of activity going on in your sign, with an interchange going on with a constant stellium, starting off with Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron in Aries, and then we wrap up the month with Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, and Venus in Aries. And so there's a constant stellium, big activity going on in your first house. So for you, this month is really going to be all about your personal roads, your personal projects, your personal pursuits, your solo journey, things that you are attempting to accomplish or achieve or do for yourself, things that you might be working on independently, or you could say your own story independent of what you may have going on involved with other people, whether those other people are friends, coworkers, colleagues, family members, partners, it doesn't matter. This whole month is really about getting you back on your proper track, where you may have kind of drifted or fallen out of sync or fallen out of alignment with your own road. And we see a lot of this coming up with this stellium, because while it is intense, it is ultimately a very, very strong and auspicious influence. What's going to happen here, though, is that you might notice some personal passions, personal projects, personal wishes and ambitions getting a chance to come forth into being or come to fruition, but we have to be ready to make some important turns or some important alterations to our course, or how we are kind of running our lives in order to make it so. Because this is also a personally challenging combination, where we will be getting moved to an important onward and upward kind of shift, where we can actually have some kind of new road open up, some kind of lucky break, or possibly even something maneuver us out of a path or a circumstance or an era or even a reality or a timeline, if you'd rather term it that way, that we don't belong in or was never meant for us, however long we'd been there, whether we made it so or it happened to us or not. And this could be something that does assist you with granting some kind of deeply personal wish or desire. But sometimes, again, the personal challenge that comes is this kind of understanding that it's not going to necessarily be something that works where we are, or where we're trying to do it, or with whom, or under what conditions. And we might need to be ready to make a bit of a lane change. Now, this will be providing everything that you need for those lane changes. And this could be also something deeply rewarding, even on a material or financial level. But you've got to be ready to, of course, adjust with where the current is taking you as we go through the month of May. We will also have Pluto turning retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, bringing a lot of attention to your zone of friendships, community, and support system. And this is a time where, not just for May, but pretty much for the coming months, Pluto retrograde is going to be bringing a lot of under-the-radar matters forward and make them plain. Because when Pluto goes retrograde, secrets get revealed, hidden information, things in our blind spots, things that maybe were going on that we weren't able to see or were kind of out of our field of vision. This could be really helpful stuff coming to us through our friends, through social connections, especially where they could not only be very advantageous to us, but maybe even help us in some way to maybe retrace steps where we want to retrace steps, or help us to capitalize on things that we would have missed if we were in tunnel vision mode. But this can also be a time where, maybe we also see some things come up from under the radar that make us reflect a little bit or change a bit of how we look at certain friendships, associations, and groups that we may be affiliated with. But whatever the case, again, a lot of stuff is coming up to be straightened out for your highest good. We also have Mars in Leo all month long, which is bringing increased activity, new sparks, new passions, new investments, but also the potential for a bit of conflict to your personal life. It's in your zone of romance, relationships, but also personal and business enterprises and artistic endeavors. And so with Mars here, yes, this is definitely going to be a month where a lot of new relationship journeys, a lot of new sparks, a lot of new passions are going to rise up. And things that could actually change a lot of relationship dynamics for a lot of you Aries people. But this can also bring up some potential conflict because there could be some issues that come up where we realize there are some things that need to be released for us to be able to have the relationship that we want to have. This could also indicate, however, some important investments getting made in you in a non-romantic space, again, around possibly an artistic or creative business concern. And this is going to be something that's also going to be really electrifying for a lot of you. Because with Mars, we can also see a lot of doors getting opened up, especially when it comes to anything that you might be trying to accomplish in those regards. The Sun and Mercury will be moving on into Taurus mid-month, bringing fast progress and gains to all matters of professional, employment, and financial priorities that you have. And you might be noticing that you're kind of moving up the ladder or making it money or bringing in sales or racking up hours a lot faster than normal as we go through mid-May. And we will also have a full moon in Scorpio trine the North Node in mid-May, which is setting up for an interesting second half of the month where some kind of closure or ending of a situation that is blocked or obscured a higher path is getting underway. So when we have a full moon in Scorpio, for a lot of you, this is likely going to be something that helps you to get untangled from something that you have been wrapped up in that has actually been working against you, not for you. This is your zone of shared resources, shared responsibilities, shared anything. And with a full moon, we get a chance to kind of get out of something that has bunched, bound, or tangled us up. This could also be a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to be relieved of some kind of burden, whether it's a financial burden, a responsibility burden, or a debt. And as we go through the second half of May, again, there's also going to be some clarity coming in about where possibly a higher path or a better way to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish is going to be revealed, where maybe we were kind of too zoned in or too focused on one plan or one agenda, and now we get a chance to do a switcheroo to something better. And finally, as we wrap up the month, we've got the Sun, Mercury, and a new moon in Gemini, all lighting up alongside Jupiter, where there's going to be this huge turn where a lot of you are getting a chance to score some kind of new beginning, surprise win, or accelerated payoff because of some kind of collaboration, some kind of team up, or some kind of hookup or go-between. When we have this much activity in the third house, this is a time where, again, our friends really show up for us, whether this is a lead to some kind of new opportunity, some kind of new collaboration, new alliance showing up, or somebody maybe even finding a way to give you what you can't find for yourself. But whatever the case is, as we close up the month of May, there is an unexpected gift that, again, will bring a surprise win. So that is what I've got for you, Aries people. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine, and if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. To be all of my Taurus people out there, sun, moon, and rising, it's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological weather forecast for May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, you just need to head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, you do want to know when my other videos on this channel come out. So what's going on when it comes to your May? Well, May is a month of a stellium saga, as I've come to term it, because all throughout the month, we've got this constant stellium of planets in the sign of Aries. So for you, this is your zone of the past, private matters, secret opportunities, shortcuts, old business, and history. And so we've got Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron forming the stellium for the first half of the month. And in the second half of the month, we're going to have Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, and Venus comprising a stellium as well. So it's a stellium saga all the way through. Now, for a lot of you, this is going to be a very important month because something is giving you a chance to get back into alignment with a past desire, past wish, past pleasure, or something from your personal history that you have drifted from, something that you maybe have been off road with, or something that may be from your past that you deeply miss. Now, this could be an old era, whether this is an old era in terms of how you were getting on in your quality of life, material circumstances, or possibly even a matter of a deeper past that actually is a source of great joy, while also at the same time purging the legacies of things that maybe that have followed you into the present, that have exerted a negative influence over you in the present. And that is because when we have this much activity going on in the 12th house, which is where it is for you, we see an ultimately strong, auspicious, but personally challenging combination, where we'll be getting a chance to actually get some kind of unmet need or maybe unfinished business taken care of if we commit to releasing or unmaking a circumstance, an era, or a condition that's been keeping us trapped up, right? Keeping us in a reality or in a situation, or maybe if you prefer a timeline or a condition that doesn't belong to us, we don't belong in, or was never meant for us. This can also be an especially powerful time for clearing away any kind of legacies or echoes of past situations that maybe have kind of dictated where you've ended up in the present. And also, again, return you back to some happier past roads in your life at the same time. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius, which is going to be bringing up a lot of interesting developments around work and career matters. Because Pluto retrograde, where he's going to be not just for May, but for the next few months, is bringing a lot of under-the-radar matters forward and bringing them to light. And so this can be very advantageous, especially when it comes to things that we've not noticed, whether these are hidden opportunities, hidden doors, hidden allies, maybe even hidden financial opportunities. But also with Pluto retrograde, a lot of secrets getting revealed, a lot of things that have been covered up coming to light. Now, sometimes this can be very pleasant, especially when they are pleasant surprises. But this can also bring forth a lot of things going on in your blind spots or maybe under the radar that you might need to know about how things may be operating around a workspace or a professional relationship or a financial situation so that you can handle it for how it really is versus what we thought it was. There's always a mixed bag when outer planets go retrograde, but this can be very, very important to have go on. We also have Mars in Leo, which is your fourth house of home, family, home economy, as well as residential circumstances. And with Mars here, throughout the course of the month, there is this increase of intensity, as well as new investments, new activity, and a lot more productivity, but also a boost in terms of your household income. So it's not just you, but it might be things going on around the house, around the family, with partners. And Mars is really bringing a lot more drive and ambition to this sector of your world. But at the same time, there is the potential for conflict to come up, because when Mars is in the fourth house, sometimes family challenges, family rivalries, or maybe, again, touchy family business tends to get roused. And so throughout the course of May, you're going to want to be careful and judicious with what you decide to take on. The Sun and Mercury will be moving on into your sign as we get into mid-month, which is all about fast progress and gains, and it's going to be focusing mostly on a lot of your personal wishes, personal ambitions, solo activities, and solo projects, things that maybe you do by yourself, for yourself, whether these are big plans that you have for your own future, bucket list wishes, or things that you're looking to do, but you don't necessarily share them so much, or you don't really have a lot of people involved. You know, this is really more about you and your journey and your path, not necessarily what you share with partners, friends, family, and colleagues, etc. But with Mercury here, this is also going to be speeding up something in your life that has developed very slowly, or something that you've fallen behind with, and in a way that's actually going to be, again, very kind to you. Mid-month, we also have a full moon in Scorpio trine the North Node. And there is likely going to be some kind of closure or ending of a situation around a close one-on-one connection. This is falling in your 7th house, which is all about important one-on-one individual relationships. So this is the area that I refer to as the boyfriend, girlfriend, the BFF, the business partner, the husband, wife, the roommate, all of the people you have your most involved, closest one-on-one connections with. And this full moon is going to be connecting to the North Node in Pisces. And so there's going to be a closure or an ending of a situation that a partnership or a close relationship has been involved in that has actually been blocking a higher path for each individual. Now, this could be something that you and maybe a business partner, a romantic partner, or a close friend have been struggling with, or maybe it's something that we've been carrying on that we didn't know was not really good for us to be carrying on. But whatever the case is, the second half of the month is going to be helping to set things right as rain. And finally, for the close of the month, we've got the Sun, Mercury, a new moon, all lighting up Gemini, and Jupiter amplifying those as well because he's in Gemini as well. And this is bringing attention to your income, security, and employment sector. And for a lot of you, there could be some kind of new commitment, new beginning, or some kind of accelerated payoff coming your way around some kind of income or professional matter that could set up a new commitment on the job front or a new committed income stream. Then this is likely going to be an influence not just for the end of May, but also the beginning of June. So that is what we've got for you Taurus people out there. I guess that's my cue with the train to move on. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine, and if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Gemini people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see just what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for the month of May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, you just need to head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, and you do want to know when my other videos on this channel come out. So what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrology weather for May? This month is all about a great stellium saga, as I've taken to calling it. We've got a stellium that has a lot of interchanging planets throughout the course of the month in Aries. And so the big focus really comes onto your 11th house of friendships, your support system, and community. At the beginning of the month, we'll have Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron there. But then we also have a bit of a swap out as we go into the second half of the month. Mercury will be moving on, but we will still have Venus, Neptune, Chiron joined by Saturn, continuing the stellium activity. And this is a very important month for you because when we talk about the support system, friendships, and community, there are going to be a lot of very important wins and a lot of very important accelerations going on as it relates to your life getting the good treatment or the good stuff from a transformation of how you are handling your engagements with your friends, with community, with also your loftiest ambitions, and even bringing in a new spark of adventure. This could be a great month for a lot of you looking to maybe get out of an old routine, but also at the same time pay attention to where important friendships and important connections are going to be kind of transforming the landscape of your world, or you will be transforming it with them. This is an ultimately strong and auspicious, but also personally challenging combination where we're going to be likely having through our friends, through our allies and our important relationships here, opportunities to move out of a space or maybe a chapter of our lives that we have lived in and move onward and upward into something that is more true and real to us, whether that is just the layout of our social life, maybe this is affecting our material circumstances, our personal life, or maybe just opening up the world for us. But at the same time, we are going to be asked to be ready to commit to releasing and unmaking a condition, a circumstance, a reality, or maybe even a timeline, if you prefer, that we don't belong in or was never meant for us. This can also, however, bring a lot of saving graces into your life, especially when it comes to pulling the right allies and people closer to you, and a new sense of community and feeling at home in the world because of it. We will also have Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius. And this is going to be bringing a big focus to your zone of big moves, big travel opportunities, as well as expansion, any kind of focus on long distance communications, long distance connections, and big official matters. Now, Pluto retrograde here is all about bringing under the radar matters to light, or things that have been maybe out of our field of vision, in our blind spot, or things that have been maybe kept secret, bringing them to the light of day, making them plain. And for a lot of you, this can actually be very advantageous, especially when it comes to navigating complicated matters around travel or move plans or any kind of long distance communications, long distance connections, or long distance commitments that you have. But also at the same time, some important secrets or maybe even some important exchanges are going to be helping to maybe open some kind of important road or enhance something of great importance to you, or turn something in your favor, especially if it comes to being around maybe major contracts, agreements, or commitments that have been challenging to kind of navigate until now. This is not just a focus for the month of May, however. This is also something going on up until, the next few months. So let's just call it that. We'll talk more about Pluto retrograde here in a special video soon. We also have Mars in Leo all month long. This is your area of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, and contracts, but also allies, helpful third parties, and collaborations. Now, when Mars is in our third house, this is also another transit where people are really showing up for us. And we have increased activity, new sparks, new investments. Mars in your third house is showing up where champions of you show up and come closer in your life, or the people in your life that you could already argue are your champions, or the people who take care of you, are able to actually do even more. This is a very powerful transit because a lot of problems that maybe have existed in your life, whether they are obstacles, blockages, or things that have been maybe stuck in a stasis or resisting good change, are now going to be getting bowled over by Mars. However, there is a potential for conflict that could come up every once in a while, especially when it comes to dealing with situations where a resistance, a defiance, or a denial of good change is concerned. And again, this is likely going to be something that is both good, but also really intense at the same time. We also have the Sun and Mercury moving into Taurus, your 12th house of the past, private matters, secrets, and hidden opportunities. And a lot of you could be noticing that some secret opportunities, secret shortcuts, or some secret wins are coming your way. This can sometimes show up where maybe private exchanges, private projects, or maybe private conversations start to yield some very interesting and tantalizing opportunities. These could be secret conversations behind closed doors in the workplace. This could indicate secret opportunities to maybe go and handle some kind of wish or desire from the past on a new road. Or this could even indicate something that you have been maybe working on in private with only those on a need-to-know basis getting a considerable boost as well. Mid-month, we will also have a full moon in Scorpio, forming a really strong auspicious trine to the North Node in Pisces. And there is also going to be some kind of clearing or closure of a work or professional matter that has been blocking or obscuring a higher path for you when it comes to your work life, when it comes to your business and your earning power. Sometimes a full moon in Scorpio for you, because it's your 6th house, can indicate a transformation of a team, a business layout, or maybe a role, responsibilities, or the people you work with or work for. But whatever the case is, again, whatever this transition or this closure is, over the course of the second half of May, it's also going to reveal where certain things that you may have been agreeing to work with or certain places you've been stuck have actually been blocking a higher path from becoming available to you. And finally, as we close up the month, we've got the Sun, Mercury, and a new moon lighting up your sign and getting amplified by Jupiter, which is already there. And when we have all of this activity in your sign, there is this big focus on some kind of new beginning, commitment, or fresh start for a personal wish, a personal goal, or a personal dream, something that you have kind of held on to maybe for your whole life or just maybe for a very long time. Whenever we have a lot of activity in our first house, it's about our solo journey, the things that we are carrying on, not so much, with regards to what we are sharing with partners or colleagues or, family members and things like that, but what is about our personal story. Now, with a new beginning or some kind of surprise win or new commitment happening here, it's very likely that a personal wish, personal project, or personal desire that has maybe gone unfulfilled or maybe wasn't fulfilled the right way is going to get a chance to actually become something the right way. And this is not just something that lights up the end of May, but also the beginning of June for you too. So that is what I've got for you, Gemini people. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Cancerian people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see just what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological weather forecast for May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, you just need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, you want to know when all my other videos on this channel come out. So what's going on when it comes to the month of May? Well, I've been saying to everybody, May is the month of a great stellium saga. This is the time where we see a rather strong cluster of planets in the sign of Aries, and they seem to be just kind of interchanging with each other, and so there's a constant stellium pretty much the month over. We start off the month with Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron in Aries, and then Mercury moves on, and then Saturn enters Aries, and then we have a stellium of Saturn, Neptune, Venus, and Chiron in Aries. And so there's this big focus on your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, raises, and bigger business all throughout May. And for a lot of you, this is going to be a month where this ultimately strong and very, very good combo, but also possibly very personally challenging combo, is going to be working over your career path, your work life, and maybe the road ahead around business and financial matters, setting you up for new success, but also really highlighting where if you are to move onward and upward into some kind of new role, or maybe get some new stride, or hit some new win streak around your earning power, you are going to also need to commit to releasing or unmaking a commitment, a condition, or a reality, or maybe even, if you prefer to say, a timeline that you don't belong in or that was never meant for you. Now, this can sometimes show up where we are getting an opportunity to break away from an experience or from a commitment or from a role or a path now or later, maybe on in June, and we need to be ready to orient ourselves properly in that direction. This is something that is going to give you a chance to rise up in the workforce, whether it's your present workforce or maybe something new, but it is also at the same time asking you to let go of some element that you have become overly entrenched in. And again, letting go of things that maybe we don't belong to, that don't belong to us, or were never meant for us in order to make this attainment. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius, which is lighting up your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, shared responsibilities, debts, investments, and the like. And with Pluto retrograde here, not just in May, but for the next couple of months, a lot of under-the-radar matters are going to come forward and get made plain. Now, with any outer planet going retrograde, it's kind of a double-edged sword. We've got some good and we've got some challenging. For the good, this is a brilliant period, especially for getting a lot of secrets or getting a lot of hidden opportunities that have been in our blind spots revealed to us, ways that we can maybe boost supplemental income, ways we can bring more money into our lives outside of maybe a more conventional salary or hourly income situation. However, you may also discover where certain accounts, certain agreements, certain plans, or certain investments have maybe been working against you, or where you may have been putting your trust in the wrong people. But the reason we have this is so that we can do something about it when it comes up. We also have Mars in Leo all month long. This is your 2nd house of income, employment, as well as security. And this is bringing increased intensity, as well as new sparks and a lot of blockbusting potential to this part of your life. Now, whenever we have Mars in this part of the chart, which he'll be for you all month, you're going to have to be ready to get down to business and get to work, because this will demand some overtime, but also help you really rake in some cash and maybe even score some really important competitive opportunities when it comes to any kind of workforce, professional, or career aims. Just to also understand, potential conflict can sometimes come up with Mars in the second house, whether this is rivalries with other people or possibly even scheduling conflicts with other priorities in your life. So it's up to you to make sure you can manage it well. We will also have the Sun and Mercury entering Taurus mid-month, which is your 11th house of friendships, your support system, and community. And with these two as a strong combo together, we're seeing some focus on a fast progress or some kind of fast gain coming to you through a community connection or an important friendship. A lot of you are going to notice your popularity going through a bit of an increase, and your personal life is becoming a lot more active, adventurous, and outgoing, which is always a beautiful thing to see. We will also have mid-month a full moon in Scorpio trine the North Node in Pisces. And this is spelling a very important step getting taken or some kind of important threshold getting crossed in your personal life. Because a full moon in your 5th house of romance and relationships is going to be bringing about some kind of transition, end of an era, or maybe closure that is also providing a graduation opportunity for you. And this could indicate a changing of relationship roads or a relationship trend, something that is going to be removing something that has blocked or obscured a higher path for your personal life. And finally, as we get on into the end of the month, we've got the Sun, Mercury, and a new moon all lighting up the sign of Gemini, as well as Jupiter amplifying their effects, as we have Jupiter in Gemini as well, and Jupiter likes to amplify everything. And for you guys, there is likely going to be some kind of retrieval or resurrection opportunity with this new moon, because it's all about new beginnings and new commitments. But because it's happening in your 12th house, it's about a new beginning for something old. This is a time of revival, something that we get a chance to bring back from the past, to try again, or to restart, relive, or remake if we wish. Now, this could be something from your distant past, or reconnecting with an old era, reconnecting with an old connection, reconnecting with an old investment, reconnecting with an old project, an old dream. Bringing something back from the past and the present, again, and resurrecting something that was once lost to time. So that's what we've got for your astrology for May. Cancerian people, I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine, and if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all my Leo people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as you do want to know, of course, when my other videos on this channel come out. So what is going on when it comes to your month of May and your astrology weather? Well, this month is largely governed by this Stellium saga, as I have been terming it, as all throughout the month of May, we pretty much got a stellium of some variety in the sign of Aries. We start off with Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron, and then in the second half of the month, Mercury moves on, but Saturn moves in, and there we have Saturn, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron. And so this is a very powerful combination, stimulating a great deal of breakthroughs and breakouts for you, as this is all taking place in your 9th house of expansion, growth, big moves, big travel opportunities, as well as anything to do with your prominence, getting out of your bubble, and official matters. Now, for a lot of you, this is going to be a month that is going to require you to be ready to live in a bigger world. And this could actually be a really good month for a lot of you who have been looking to maybe make some kind of big launch or big alteration to a course in your life, especially if it is something that is, moving you onward and upward out of maybe a bubble or a contained space that you have occupied for way too long to your own staleness. And this can be a great month for getting ready for big moves, big travel opportunities, but also an alteration of basically the company that you keep in a way that helps lift you up to bigger and better spaces, whether it's professionally, socially, spiritually, it does not matter. As this is going to be about, again, moving onward and upward, there may also be some personal challenges that come up this month, requiring you to release and unmake circumstances, eras, and conditions that have been keeping you in a reality, or as we could say, a timeline that you don't belong in or was never really meant for you. However, this is also going to be a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to maybe explore some kind of new horizon that's going to change a great deal of other areas of your life at the same time. Your social life, your personal life, your professional life, your financial life, all kind of going through a massive good kind of upheaval. It can be overstimulating at times, but that doesn't mean you want to get in your own way and shut it down. Whatever is going on this month, be prepared. You're walking out of May, again, in a completely new territory. We've also got Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius, which is going to be bringing a bit of a focus to your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. So this is the area of the boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people that basically, you have your closest one-on-one connections with. Now, with Pluto turning retrograde here, this is going to be a month, and for the next few months, a time where a lot of under the radar or blind spot situations are coming forward and being made plain and clear. This can actually be a really, really good transit, especially if we are missing out on opportunities, missing out on things because we are just not looking at the right stuff. We're overly focused in one area or overly focused on one goal or one plan. Hidden opportunities, hidden wealth, hidden good fortune can come to light with Pluto retrograde because it turns over rocks that we have not been turning over ourselves. And this could indicate also some kind of important discovery that could be very advantageous for a partnership, a business alliance, or some kind of joint venture. However, with Pluto retrograde, yes, sometimes this can also bring to light some hidden secrets or things that have been maybe covered up that we and partners, allies, and business associates might be discovering that we have to look over ourselves, whether these are things that we have to face together or things that maybe could be getting revealed about what's been, maybe swept under a few rugs even in the past. We also have Mars in your sign all month long. And so this is going to be bringing a great deal of intense, increased activity to a lot of personal projects, pursuits, goals, and passions. Whenever we have planets in our first house, it's really bringing the attention back on us, our personal road, our personal journey, our personal responsibilities, our personal accomplishments, things that are really about our personal journey, irrespective of what's going on with other people. It's really good, especially if you have been kind of maybe having your whole life be about another person or another person's journey or work or family or whatever, right? You've got a life to live too. And this is all about bringing it back to that, but also some very important new sparks and new investments in you coming as well throughout the course of the month. Mars is a powerful blockbuster and obstacle clearer, and so there could even be some kind of shift going on where things in your life that have been held in stasis are also getting a move on. We also have the Sun and Mercury moving on into Taurus mid-month. This is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, and promotions. And you might be noticing some fast progress here, especially when it comes to boosting your popularity in the workspace, as well as boosting your popularity in terms of business, the general market itself, really making a stronger name for yourself, and even bringing a spotlight where you would be able to put a spotlight to some future promotional use for yourself, not just now as well. This can also be a great time for getting the attention of those in positions of power in your field or in your workspace, and something that could actually lift up your own personal clout and therefore your profits. We also have a full moon in Scorpio trine the North Node mid-month, and this is bringing an important closure or ending of a situation regarding a household, family, living situation, or home economy matter that has maybe been blocking or obscuring a higher path. Now, this could be something that has been a delayed shift or some kind of old family business or old household business, or this could be something that has been stuck or paralyzed as far as a household or family or economic matter. But whatever the case is, the closure of this, finally ending whatever this is, letting it go, moving it on, is actually going to be opening up some kind of higher path when it comes to family dynamics, household comforts, and household economics. And so it's actually a really good thing that this is kind of forcing an overdue turnover for you. And finally, we also have a beautiful Jupiter-Mercury new moon combo in Gemini as we close up the month, and they're going to be amplified by Jupiter also in Gemini. And this is all about new beginnings as well as accelerated payoffs for a lot of things that you might be putting out there that are now getting some strong attention and support from friends. Your social life, your community, your support system is going through a very powerful renaissance as we close up May and go on into early June. You may be finding that this is, of course, bringing in new friendships or creating a new infrastructure of a support system for you, or rearranging what you have to be more of a winning ticket, as it were, but also creating an opportunity for a lot of you to feel more at home in the world with the company that you keep, and also attract and pull closer the best friends and allies for you and your path. And that's also going to be, again, a big theme of June as well. So that's what we've got for your astrology for May, Leo. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine. And should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Let's be all of my Virgo people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see just what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological weather forecast for the month of May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, just head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, and of course you do want to know when my other videos on this channel come out. So what's going on with your guys' astrology weather for this month? Well, this month is largely run by this Stellium saga that seems to be playing out all throughout the month, with Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron in Aries for the first half of the month. And then the second half of the month, we've got Saturn, Chiron, Neptune, and Venus in Aries. And so there's a stellium. We might be seeing some interchanging planets here and there, but by and large, this is what the month is all about in a big way. And so for you, this is bringing a huge focus to your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as self-employment, debts, investments, and any kind of bonus monies or monies that might come to you outside of a salary or hourly income. And for a lot of you, this is going to be creating a very, very strong, auspicious push where a lot of you are going to be coming into some very strong new wealth potential, especially when it comes to transforming the landscape and the layout of all of your dealings with these matters. However, it can also be a personally challenging month because you might also be, while getting moved onward and upward, especially when it comes to being able to strengthen your earning power, maybe come into some new creature comforts, and also maybe change the way wealth shows up in your world. We also have to be ready to commit to releasing and unmaking circumstances, eras, or conditions that have been keeping us in a reality, a timeline, or in a space that we don't belong in or was never meant for us. Sometimes this can show up where we have to give up on certain situations, certain paths, certain entanglements, certain investments. Sometimes we have to be ready to give up things that we've got to stop trying to finish up, or even allow our plate to be cleared for us, because there's also a lot of good coming from Venus and Mercury and Chiron here. But, this is going to be not only helping to heal any kind of challenges and maybe even give you some bonus cash, but you've got to let go of the cookies in the jar that have gone stale as we go through this month. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius, and this is activating your 6th house of work, reputation, schedule, and the teams that you operate on, and the community that you serve, and all of that. And with Pluto turning retrograde here for not just May, but for the next few months as well, we're going to be seeing a lot of under the radar matters come to light and get made plain. This is where Pluto starts to reveal things that we are not seeing, either because they're in our blind spots, or we're not paying attention, or they've been covered up. Pluto retrograde is a mixed bag. This can actually be a really, really good thing, especially when it comes to getting opportunities to raise ourselves up in the workforce or even, again, in our earning power, because we're getting a chance to see where opportunities for wealth or opportunities for growth have been that we are not capitalizing on when we could, and maybe even also receive the benefit of some important secrets, some important favors, or even some hidden allies that could be coming closer to us. However, we are going to also need to be ready to see where some things that have been under the radar or in our blind spots that have not been so good as far as how we've been conducting business and work have, been going, and do something about it as well. We also have Mars in Leo all month long. This is your 12th house of the past, private matters, secrets, shortcuts, and hidden opportunities. And with Mars here, there is going to be a huge focus on purging things that cling to and from the past. And this can actually be a really important month for cleaning your slate. Because whenever Mars is in the 12th house, he has zero tolerance for things that are keeping one stuck in a bad past. Zero tolerance for people, zero tolerance for situations, zero tolerance for feelings, zero tolerance for bullshit, or whatever we dress that bullshit up as. And so you might also be noticing a lot of things closing up because the increased intensity of Mars here is cutting a lot of cords and strings that tie you to things that have maybe been keeping you trapped up, or maybe continuing to drain you, your finances, your social availability, your time, your patience, however it goes. And also with Mars, however, these new sparks and new investments are coming your way through private exchanges and secret opportunities as well. But we've got to remember, with Mars comes potential conflict. And while this is really good for cleaning your slate, personality types that kind of just hold on to everything and kind of hoard every feeling and every situation or every commitment or every chord might come and create some problems when it comes to that slate getting cleaned. But Mars is there to make sure it does. We also have the Sun and Mercury moving on into Taurus, where we see fast progress and gains in the sector of your chart that rules big moves, big travel opportunities, expansion, prominence, popularity, and official matters. And a lot of you might be noticing that you are getting a chance to enjoy a bit of a 15 minutes of fame this month, either in your field or maybe in your social life, or even get a chance to set in the course for some kind of big move or travel opportunity later on in the year or in the near future. This can also be a really good transit for anything that you are looking to try to maybe promote or propagate or bring awareness to, bring attention to, whether this is maybe something that you've got going on, a personal project, maybe you're advertising, something that you're putting out there, or anything that you're looking to draw attention to. Mercury and the Sun are really drawing all eyes to you. We also have mid-month a full moon in Scorpio, trine the North Node in Pisces. And this is bringing in a closure or an ending of a situation that has blocked or obscured a higher path. And for you, this is about ending some kind of contract, agreement, obligation, or commitment that has actually been standing in the way of a flourishing opportunity to partner up on a joint venture, whether this is maybe it's obscuring a higher path for a partnership, a personal opportunity, your personal life, or maybe a business partnership or alliance. Whatever is getting closed up, it's about getting rid of something that is actually standing in the way of everybody involved being on a higher path. And so this could be something that kind of gets a bit confusing and complicated to navigate as we go through mid-May, but it is a very good thing. And as we move on from that influence, we go into the end of the month with the Sun, Mercury, and a new moon lighting up Gemini, your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, as well as raises. And we also have this amplified by Jupiter also present. And there's likely going to be some kind of development where some kind of new beginning, accelerated or early payoff, or maybe even some way to promote yourself or even rise up in the ranks of your workforce, your earning power, or your business is going to start getting explored and even set as we go in to the end of May, beginning of June. So that is what I've got for you Virgo people out there. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine. And should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Libra people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see just what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for the month of May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, just head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And of course, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe because you do want to know when my other videos on this channel come out. So what's going on when it comes to your month of May? Well, this month is largely governed by this stellium activity that we've got consistently throughout May in Aries, your 7th house of partnerships, closest one-on-one connections. This is the area that rules the boyfriend, girlfriend, the BFF, the business partner, the husband, wife, the roommate, all the people we have our closest one-on-one connections and joint ventures with. The first half of the month, we will have Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron there. And then as we get to the second half of the month, Mercury will move on, and then Saturn will take his place, continuing the stellium. And when we have this much activity going on in any one area of our chart, it kind of is the main story. Now, for a lot of you, this is taking place, again, focusing on close one-on-one connections, be they platonic, romantic, or business connections. And for you, this is going to be a really, really important month because this is all about an ultimately strong, auspicious, but also personally challenging combination of planets where we're getting a chance to move ourselves, our personal life, or maybe an important connection or an important partnership or alliance onward and upward into a new golden age, or perhaps finally embark on a journey that's going to have a partnership that is a part of that golden age. However, we need to commit to releasing and unmaking a circumstance, an era, or a condition in our lives in the present that has been keeping us in a reality or a timeline, if you will, that we don't belong in or was never meant for us. This can be a month of a lot of important overhauls, and whether this is because we are looking to graduate something that we are involved in, or we are looking to get involved in something new, or maybe you're somewhere in between, this is a month where you've got to be okay with also leaving something behind that has been a part of your normal, whether it's an internal normal or an external normal. And while it is personally challenging, remember, this is about setting you up for a golden age in partnerships. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius, which is your 5th house of romance, relationships, but also personal business enterprises and artistic endeavors. And we have Pluto retrograde here, not just for May, but for the next few months. And wherever Pluto retrograde happens, we see under the radar matters come forward and get made plain. Now, this can actually be a really, really good transit because this is giving us a chance to get information, opportunities, and see things that have been in our blind spots or things that have maybe not necessarily been paid attention to or have been getting the right kind of attention. Now, this can bring in some surprise opportunities for love and romantic stories to maybe get onto a new path, a new road, or onto a new even keel. Or this could even be revealing hidden opportunities that we just did not see because they were under blind spots. And Pluto retrograde is all about turning over stones that we won't. We also have Pluto retrograde here, opening up opportunities that we might not necessarily be seeing that could help us get a big boost in a personal business venture, a side hustle, or an artistic endeavor. And so whatever the case is, it's going to be a really special month, even more months following May as well. But you've got to be okay with letting your perspective kind of change with what is getting revealed as well. We also have Mars in Leo all month long. This is your zone of your social life, friendships, as well as anything relating to community and support system. Mars here is a beautiful transit because we see increased activity, new sparks, and investments in you coming from friends, as well as friends and allies really showing up for you. This is one of the areas of the chart. There are a couple where Mars is really drawing close to you people that are going to help you accomplish things by knocking down impediments, obstacles, and hindrances around you. Whenever we have Mars in houses 11 or 3, in this case for you 11, you want to be letting more people get involved in your life. If you're the kind of person who leads a double life, and a double life could be, somebody who is struggling, but their whole social wall is just affirmations and fakery, stop being that person. It's just good to not be that person anyway, and let people into what's going on with your life. Because with Mars in the 11th house, people who have the answers, the resources, and maybe the tools that you could use are there to show up. We also have the Sun and Mercury in Taurus as we go into mid-month, and this is bringing a big focus on fast progress and gains to your financial life, likely coming through bonus opportunities, things that are not really conventional to an hourly or salary income. They could be showing up on the job or off the job, or around, again, personal income avenues that you have, or maybe around investments. And with also the Sun and Mercury together, this is a time where you are speeding up maybe the maturation of certain projects or certain private work or financial investments or endeavors that you're getting involved in order to maybe speed up what you are getting paid out from them. Mid-month, we also have a full moon in Scorpio trine to the North Node in Pisces. And this is bringing about an opportunity for a closure or an ending of a situation in a work, employment, or financial matter that has actually been blocking or obscuring a higher path for you when it comes to your work life, climbing the professional ladder, or making more money. Sometimes we are committed to certain things or certain plans or certain agendas that maybe are not actually very good for us, whether it's because of the terms of how we're working, maybe it's our own mental habits being attached to the plans that we set, whatever is going on here. But this full moon is kind of creating a transition out of whatever has been actually more of a container than an actual helper. And whatever has been obscuring a higher financial or professional path will be getting out of the way as we go through mid-month. And finally, as we close up the month of May, we've got the Sun, Mercury, and a new moon lighting up Gemini, and Jupiter is amplifying this activity as well because he's also in Gemini. And this is going to be bringing about some kind of important new beginning, or maybe new commitment, or new fresh start as it relates to your zone of expansion, popularity, prominence, growth, big moves, big travel opportunities, maybe even a bit of fame, maybe a bit of publicity, because what happens here is that there is a bigger name getting made for you or something that you're putting out there as we close up May and go on into June. This is also a great opportunity for anyone looking to plan for big moves or big travel opportunities later in the year. And for a lot of you, this could also bring about some kind of important transformation to a long distance or connection, a personal connection or a business connection, or maybe even bring something new about that's going to be really good for you. So that is what I've got for you, Libra people. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Scorpio people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for the month of May 2025. And just a quick reminder, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, just head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, you want to know when my other videos come out on this channel. So what's going on with your guys' monthly astrology weather for the month of May? Well, the month of May is largely run by this Stellium saga that we have going on in the sign of Aries. And we have a stellium in Aries right in the very beginning with Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron. And in the second half of the month, it's all about Saturn, Neptune, Venus, and Chiron. And so whenever we have a stellium, it's basically a governing feature of the month or a governing feature of this time period. So for you, it's going to be all about your 6th house of work, reputation, your schedule, as well as anything to do with communities that you serve, the community that you serve with, and general business. And for a lot of you, this is going to be a beautiful month because this is a very strong and auspicious period that is allowing you to make some kind of big break in a professional space, in a business space, as it relates to the work you are doing for the world, but also transforming how you are viewed by your community, as well as what you are putting out there for your community. This is a time of rising up as, a bit of a rising star, and a lot of you could be getting that treatment. And this could be something that is an enormous boost, not only to your professional profile or your earning profile, but also what you are putting yourself out there for your community in general, however you define your community. Now, that being said, however, this is also going to be a time with some potential personal challenges, as you are also going to need to be ready while you're getting moved onward and upward to commit to releasing and unmaking a condition, an era, a chapter of your life, or a circumstance that has been keeping you in a reality, keeping you in a timeline, if you will, that you don't belong in, or that was never meant for you. This could be a time where you notice a big transformation around the people that you're working with and working for, how you're getting received and by whom you are getting received, as well as also possibly dealing with some challenges with people that could be afraid of the change or maybe even trying to fight the change as you go through it, even though it's good for you. Power through. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius this month, and he's going to be retrograde in Aquarius for the next few months. Now, this is in your 4th house of home, family, living circumstances, and home economy. And with Pluto retrograde, there's always a focus on under the radar matters coming forward and getting made plain. Now, this can be really good, especially when it comes to opportunities or maybe information or things that maybe have been out of our field of vision in a blind spot, things that could be really good for us or really good for our family or for our home economy that we've just not noticed or we've not been paying attention to that's been there all along because Pluto turns over stones that nobody's been turning over. But this could also reveal some things that have been going on behind the scenes in family matters that maybe do bring up some internal challenges for family units, whether they are localized like nuclear family or extended family. Whatever the case is, though, whatever has to come up and out to be made plain is going to. And it's important to pay attention to where this is also happening for the good as we go through this next few months. We also have Mars in Leo all throughout May. This is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, and raises. And Leo being occupied by Mars for you is putting you in a place of immense competitive gains throughout the course of May. In fact, this increased intensity and increased activity could be turning you into a bit of a workaholic, and that's okay as long as you are mature enough to know how to control yourself and set limits, because this is a time where a lot of new sparks, new investments in you, and also new money is coming to you. However, there will be a potential for some conflict here and there, because with Mars in the 10th house, things can also get a bit competitive, a bit rivalrous. And there could be some issues that come up, either with professional rivals, business rivals, or possibly even difficult clients, difficult customers. Because again, as you go through a bit of your rise up, sometimes you will get the attention of people you don't want the attention of. But it doesn't matter, it is still a rise up. We also have mid-month, the Sun and Mercury moving on into the sign of Taurus, which is bringing some fast gains and fast progress to your sector of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. And there could be actually some fast gains or fast progress with a joint goal or some kind of relationship goal or joint venture goal, or possibly a joint business or business partnership project or affair. This could also indicate possibly some kind of fast turnaround to something that has already been in the works or that has already been put out there in these areas of your life. And so be prepared for something to happen ahead of schedule in a good way. But we also have a full moon mid-month in your sign. And this is bringing about not only the full moon energy itself, but it's also trine to the North Node in Pisces. And this is bringing a closure or an ending of a situation that's been blocking a higher path. Now for you, it's bringing an ending to something that you have been maybe carrying on alone, something that you've been working on solo, a private project, a private pursuit, or something that you have been doing by yourself, or maybe keeping cloistered to yourself, that's been blocking a higher path around possibly a relationship matter, a relationship opportunity, or perhaps even a personal business or personal artistic venture. And so it can be kind of an interesting one, because we might be getting tipped out of a situation that we've been trying to run solo in order to actually, see where we could do better with more involvement in our life, and maybe even see where something has been getting blocked by the way we've been keeping something cloistered. We also have, as we go towards the end of the month of May, the Sun, Mercury, and a new moon in Gemini, which is lighting up your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, intimacy, self-employment earnings, and anything regarding any kind of bonus income. And it's getting amplified by Jupiter there as well. And so we see some kind of surprise win, new beginning, or perhaps even new income stream getting generated for you here. Likely something that's going to be stacked on top of what you already have, or maybe something that's coming in that's helping you to clear a debt or financial limitation as we go on into early June. Whatever the case, it's big business for the Scorpio people this month. So that is what I've got for you all, and I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all my Sagittarius people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological weather forecast for the month of May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, you just want to head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And of course, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, you do want to know when my other videos on this channel come out. So what's going on when it comes to your month of May? Well, I have subtitled the month of May the Stellium Saga, because so much action is taking place in the sign of Aries. At the start of the month, we've got Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron there. And then as we go into the second half of the month, after Mercury moves on, Saturn moves in, and then we have the other half of the Stellium Saga turn on. And for you, this is a major transformative energy that is taking place all throughout your 5th house of love, romance, relationships, but also creative business enterprises and artistic endeavors. And so this whole month is actually going to be full of activity, kind of giving a bit of an overhaul to all of these areas of your life, as well as the roads that they are on, or the roads that could be opening up for them. This is ultimately a very strong and auspicious combination of planets, but it is also likely going to be something very personally challenging at times, because a lot of you are going to notice when it comes to your love life, your personal life in general, relationships or relationship opportunities, as well as, again, even entrepreneurial ventures, personal businesses, there are going to be a lot of big moments that are kind of lifting everybody involved to be moved onward and upward onto more auspicious roads, onto more golden roads and golden opportunities. However, it is also going to require that we commit to releasing and unmaking a few things in our lives as well, especially because of that Saturn influence with Neptune. Unmaking circumstances, eras, or even conditions that have been maybe keeping us or a relationship setup, or maybe a certain status quo in our personal life, or a personal business affair stuck in a reality, an experience, or maybe even a timeline that we don't belong in, or that was never meant for us. And as we go through the month of May, this transformative energy is going to really be kind of setting everybody up for new success, but it can be, again, personally challenging, because sometimes some wake-up calls, rude awakenings, or shakeups could also be precipitating these onward and upward moves. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in the sign Aquarius this month, where he's going to be retrograde for the next few months. And overall, with Pluto retrograde here, this is activating your 3rd house of community, as well as pacts, promises, commitments, communications, contracts, helpful third parties, and collaborations. Now, with Pluto retrograde, it's like any outer planet retrograde. It's kind of a mixed bag. The big focus is revealing things that have been under the radar, things that have been in our blind spots, turning over stones that we haven't been turning over or that others have not been turning over. And for a lot of you, this can actually be really, really good, because when we have Pluto retrograde here, we're going to also be making some important discoveries, especially through the help of third-party interventions, helpful allies, as well as collaboration opportunities, helping us see things that we've just not been noticing that would actually be really good for us, whether it's because they're hiding in plain sight, we've maybe fallen into a tunnel vision kind of way, too fixed on a certain type of consistency to our detriment, or perhaps even getting an opportunity to have some secrets revealed to us that we are going to get a chance to capitalize on. However, this can also indicate some reveals around certain contracts, agreements, accounts, contracts, and commitments. I think I said contracts twice now, where we might find out that something is not really fair, working for us, or maybe doing what was thought it was going to do or intended to do. We may even find that out about certain people, certain collaborators, or certain teammates. That being the case, Pluto retrograde is revealing what must be revealed. Whatever's been swept under the rug, what's been, under the woodwork, what's been kind of kept in the shadows, comes out with Pluto retrograde. We also have Mars in Leo all month long. And this is your 9th house of expansion, growth, big moves, big travel opportunities, as well as prominence, popularity, and official matters. And when we have Mars in this part of your chart, this is a time where there's an increased level of activity in all things that are going to help make a bigger name for you or namesake for you, especially when it comes to promoting you in terms of your popularity. However, that is going to show up, whether it's socially, professionally, it does not matter. Mars is also going to be bringing in a lot of new sparks, new investments, and also important new joint venture opportunities, new team-ups, as well as new help that could help you or something you're trying to draw awareness to, something that you're trying to propagate, something that you're trying to make more gainful or more successful, get to that success. But all the while, we've got to be careful because Mars can also spark conflict, because Mars is, of course, the planet of war. And so you may also find yourself in some situations where competition could get a bit heated in certain areas or certain negotiations or conversations. Mid-month, we've got the Sun and Mercury moving on into Taurus, your 6th house of work and your reputation, your schedule, the teams that you're on, and the people that you serve. With the Sun and Mercury together here, this is like getting a better business spell cast on you, because this is all about fast progress and fast gains, especially when it comes to earning the points you need in order to score better opportunities, more money, and also, again, the respect or maybe even the added responsibility or added substantial opportunities for you or your role or the mark you want to make on your world on and off the job. This is also a time where you might be finding yourself getting more popular and maybe even getting picked or headhunted or discovered in places where you've been obscured in the past, overlooked, or passed over. We also have mid-month a full moon in Scorpio, forming a very strong trine to the North Node in Pisces. And so the second half of the month is also going to come with some kind of closure or ending of a situation that has blocked or obscured what we could call a higher path that could be really good for you in terms of a home economy, household, family, or residential situation. What is going away or closing up is a matter of history, something very old that could still be impacting you or affecting, maybe the present from the past, likely something that could tie into a relationship with a relative, an old family business, or maybe something that ties us back to an old living situation or condition. But whatever the case is here, this closure is something that is going to, again, remove a boulder, a block, or some kind of obscurance that has been keeping our living circumstances, our family relationships, or home economy from a higher path and allow us to get on such a path. And finally, we've got, at the end of the month, the Sun, Mercury, and a new moon all turning up in Gemini, and they're amplified by the presence of Jupiter there as well. This is your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. Boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people you have your most involved joint ventures and close one-on-one connections with. And with this kind of combo, we see some kind of important new beginning, fresh start, surprise win, or maybe even acceleration of works in progress involving important one-on-one connections, be they new or be they already established, and likely something that is going to be creating an important turning point for all involved as we go into June. So that is what we've got for your astrology for May, Sagittarius. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine, and should you ever wish to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Capricorn people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see just what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological weather forecast for the month of May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the link in the down bar below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, you do want to know when my other videos come out on this channel as well. So what's going on when it comes to your month of May? So this month of May, I've been telling everybody, is a stellium saga. We've got a constant or near constant stellium going on in the sign of Aries throughout the course of the month. We've got Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron there as we go through the first half of the month. And later on in the second half of the month, we've got Saturn, Neptune, Venus, and Chiron there all at once. And so this is putting a strong emphasis on what part of our lives is going to be kind of the main character of the month. And for you, it's all coming on home to home and family, living situations, home economy, and root planting. Now, for a lot of you, this is actually going to be an incredibly strong month, especially when it comes to living happier, healthier, wealthier lives with family, with home, or alterations to maybe your environment or your home economic situation that is going to make that possible. Because this combination is ultimately very strong and auspicious, something that is going to do an overhaul to align everybody for what we could call the better. However, this is also going to be a personally challenging combination, as while everybody is going through massive alterations to their home environment, their home economy, their family relationship setups, and the infrastructure of it all, it is also likely during this onward and upward shift, we have to commit to releasing and unmaking a situation, an era, or a condition that's been keeping us stuck in a reality, in a timeline, if you will, or any kind of on a road that maybe we don't belong in or was never meant for us. Now, this could be something involving multiple family members. This could be involving a household situation, a home economic situation, but we have to be ready to do some dismantling as all of this other good stuff gets underway. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius early this month, and he's going to be retrograde here for the next few months. With Pluto retrograde, your second house of income, employment, as well as security is getting highlighted here. And for a lot of you, there's likely going to be some very good news coming your way. Pluto retrograde is true neutral, but it's all about under-the-radar matters coming forward and getting plain. Things that have been kept secret, swept under the rug, stones that we've not turned over, things in our blind spot become very plain because Pluto retrograde reveals secrets. Now, for a lot of you, this could indicate opportunities for you to capitalize on secret opportunities, private opportunities, as well as maybe even secret favors that could be coming to you of a professional or financial nature, or maybe even some kind of important hookup that probably is not for everybody, but allows you to skip the line towards something you might be looking for in an employment circumstance, a professional circumstance, or a financial circumstance. However, we've got to be careful with Pluto retrograde as well, because Pluto retrograde can also reveal things that we wish we didn't see. Now, there could be some things coming out about coworkers, old business, old family matters, or maybe even old financial matters that we do need to know in order to, well, straighten them up and so that they fly right. But it can be a pain to have it come up. We also have Mars in Leo all month long. This is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, bonus earnings, as well as any kind of monies that comes your way outside of a salary or hourly income. And with Mars here, this is also going to focus a bit on debts and investments. Mars is bringing increased activity and new sparks, and likely for you a big boost to extra money flow, whether this is coming to you through side hustles, through investments, through personal businesses, or maybe even shared income that you might have going on with a romantic partner or a business partner. Mars in this part of your chart is fantastic for boosting what you add to what you are normally used to getting. However, Mars here can also indicate a chance to start maybe clearing away some debts or financial blockages that have been following you into the present. Just be careful with Mars in the 8th house. There can be a temptation to sometimes over-leverage your good fortune, spend as fast as you earn, or maybe attempt to reinvest or double down on things that you should be getting ready to move on from. We also have the Sun and Mercury moving on into Taurus mid-month. And this is going to be bringing some fast progress and gains to your romantic life. This is your 5th house of love, romance, and also personal business enterprises and artistic endeavors. And so for a lot of you, this is going to be a very fun mid-month, especially in terms of making some very strong gains in love and romance, whether it's advancing relationship goals, advancing relationship journeys, or opening up new relationship roads, or even attracting a great deal of romantic popularity to yourself. But also when it comes to personal business or artistic or creative matters, this is also going to be a time where things are really speeding up in your favor too. Mid-month, we also have a full moon in Scorpio, forming a trine to the North Node in Pisces. And in the 2 weeks following that full moon, so basically covering the final half of May, we've got a closure or an ending of a situation that has been blocking or obscuring a higher path. Now for you, this is going to come up around the area of friendships, association, community, and your support system. It's very possible that you might be rethinking a certain connection or an association, whether it's with an individual or an entire group or community. And there could be something that is revealed during this time where perhaps your association, participation, or even the sharing of space or energy with that individual or that community is actually obscuring a higher road or maybe a higher opportunity for you. And this could be something personal or this could be something practical. But whatever is going on, it's likely that you might be doing some social pruning as we close up May. And finally, we've also got a very strong combo with the Sun, Mercury, and a new moon all lighting up Gemini and getting amplified by Jupiter also present in Gemini, creating a focus on new beginnings and possibly some kind of surprise or out of the ordinary jump as it relates to your 6th house of work, reputation, your schedule, teams that you're on, the people that you serve, and the people that you serve with. Now, this could indicate a sudden left turn or some kind of very important move opportunity or alteration opportunity around a work structure, a work commitment, or something around a financial matter that is also setting you up for a higher road, possibly even something that could line you up for a raise or promotion down the road. This could be internal or external to whatever's going on with your workspace. But whatever the case is, you want to make sure that you're giving time to consider it. So that is what we've got for your astrology for May, Capricorn. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Aquarius people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for the month of May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, but of course you do also want to know when my other videos on this channel come out. So what's going on when it comes to your May? Well, I've been telling everybody May is bringing in what I would call a stellium saga. We are having a near constant stellium where we have a cluster of planets, more than 3 planets, in the sign of Aries start to finish. The first half of the month, we've got Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron in Aries. And then after Mercury moves on, just a little after, we've got Saturn, Neptune, Venus, and Venus and Chiron, all in Aries as well. And so a huge focus on your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, helpful third parties, and collaborations. Now, when we have a stellium like this, or a double stellium, so to speak, like this, or a 2-part stellium like this, We are going through a major renovation of the entirety of what makes up this part of our lives. So all of our commitments, contracts, agreements, collaborations, and alliances really come to center stage. And for you, this is going to be a time where the structure of, not only all of these matters, but basically the landscape of your world is going through a very strong, auspicious change, because this is about working everything over to get you in line with the best of the best commitments, the best helpers, the best people, the best collaborations, things that are going to actually help you flourish and also stimulate more strong and conducive and potentially profitable, however you define profitable, activity in your world, getting you out of a ho-hum or stuck space. But this is also going to be personally challenging, because where we are going to be seeing this sort of onward and upward shift, especially when it comes to getting more substantial goods in our life, we are also going to need to be ready to commit to releasing and unmaking at least one circumstance, era, condition, or commitment that has been keeping us in a reality we don't belong in or was never meant for us, however that may show up. This is a time where you're going to be getting a lot of important hookups, a lot of important matchmaking opportunities, a lot of important handoffs, a lot of important hand-me-downs, and a lot of important leads to take you into a more prosperous and a much more stable and even emotionally fulfilling quality of life. But you've got to let go of any kind of reality or timeline you might be stuck in that you don't belong in or was never meant for you at the same time. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in your sign. And he's going to be retrograde in your sign for the next few months. But with Pluto retrograde in your sign, it can actually be a really, really good thing. It's normally kind of a mixed bag, but when it's in one's own sign, it leans way more to the good, like good neutral as opposed to just true neutral. And for a lot of you, this is going to be a time where a lot of things around your personal story, your personal journey, personal wishes, personal goals, bucket list, dream accomplishments, things that you have maybe yourself wished for you to experience, right? Mostly solo and independent. This is the area that brings it back to you. It's not so focused on other people, family, partners, friends, community, coworkers, things like that. It's about you and your personal journey, things that you are looking to accomplish or get accomplished for yourself are coming into the focus and getting the most support. With Pluto retrograde, we see a lot of secrets and a lot of under the radar matters. A lot of things in our blind spots come forward and get plain to see so that we can work with them. Things that maybe we didn't know we actually had access to, helpful people, helpful resources, support, but also even secrets and advantages that maybe we didn't know we could actually put to our own uses. The only thing I would keep an eye on, though, with Pluto retrograde is that sometimes under-the-radar matters come forward and we make some discoveries about what's been hiding in plain sight that's not been so good for us, and there may be some wake-up shake-ups around that. We also have Mars in Leo all month long, and this is your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. So this is the area that rules the boyfriend, girlfriend, the BFF, the business partner, the husband, wife, the roommate, all the people you have your most involved one-on-one connections with, or your deepest one-on-one connections with, or your most involved joint ventures. And with Mars here, this is about increased intensity, but also increased drive, increased ambition, and also increased progress as new sparks, new investments, but also new passions start to build stronger connections and attract stronger roads to all of these important relationships, as well as for those of you looking for new partnerships or looking for new business allies, looking for new friends. Mars is bringing in the true blue. Mars does not do fakery. Mars does not do anything that could be considered affectation. Mars is all about bringing in the best of the best, right? It's the warrior archetype. There's no room for performativity or role absorption. With Mars, you may also find that this is a time where a lot of partnerships and joint ventures are making some really competitive strides towards important goals and even getting a lot of blocks out of their way. And this can also be a very strong time for getting a lot of blockages to attaining the partnerships that you want out of your way. We also have the Sun and Mercury moving on into Taurus, your 4th house of home, family, as well as home economy and living circumstances. And with the Sun and Mercury going on here, there's also this big push, faster gains and faster progress around some kind of household economic goal, household economic wish or gain, or plan. And this could also be a great time for a lot of you looking to make some kind of important transformation to a household environment or family setup that is going to put everyone in a much happier way. We also have a full moon mid-month around this time in Scorpio, which is going to be creating some kind of closure or ending of a situation that has blocked or obscured a higher path. Now, this is because this full moon in Scorpio is also going to be trine the North Node in Pisces. And so this closure or this ending is likely going to come around some kind of career, business, or work situation that is probably going to reveal where something that you have been striving for, or a road that you were taking towards a specific career or financial goal, might actually be the opposite of what you want to attain that goal. And over the course of the second half of May, this closure or this ending is also not only going to be taking away whatever this opposite experience is, but also helping you in a very big way to get on a path that's actually going to get you where you want to go faster. We also have finally, at the very end of the month, the Sun, Mercury, and a new moon all together in Gemini, amplified by Jupiter already present in Gemini, which is opening up some very important new beginnings in your personal life. More adventure, more fun, more experimentation, more wildness. Things are becoming very sexy and very exciting for you Aquarian people as we close up May and go on into June, because there's a lot more bold action here. And we actually also have some kind of new honeymoon phase getting kicked off for the lot of you. Whether it's a new honeymoon phase with a brand new person, for those of you who are single or available, or, long-term relationships and established relationships have their own honeymoon phases, and they have more than one, or they should, and this could absolutely be a sweet time for you all there as well. This could be bringing in also not only some more fun and excitement, but a little bit more of a new exploration of a new way to play with love. So that is what I've got for you, Aquarian people. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Celine, and if you ever want to get a personal session with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Pisces people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological weather forecast for May 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, you want to know when my other videos on this channel come out. So what's going on when it comes to your month of May? May is what I am calling a stellium saga for everybody. We've got an almost constant stellium going on in the sign of Aries, start to finish. The first half of the month, we've got Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron together in Aries. And then as we get a little bit further on into May, we've got Saturn, Neptune, Venus, and Chiron in Aries. So a great deal of focus on your second house of income, employment, and security. Now, this is actually a very, very strong stellium for everybody, and in a very good way, because what's happening is we're seeing a major overhaul, not only to maybe our employment circumstances, our financial circumstances, but also the road ahead, which is actually giving us a chance to make some kind of important departure or alteration to the way our financial infrastructure works, in such a way that allows us to not only be doing something that we love, but also be making more money and be more comfortable for it. Now, this is, while an ultimately strong and auspicious pair of stelliums, we also need to remember that sometimes these things can be very personally challenging, where we will be getting moved on to, or moving to important onward and upward opportunities. This can include new job opportunities, promotions, transfers, important lane changes, as well as, again, a transformation of the financial infrastructure of our world. We may also need to be ready to commit to releasing and unmaking a circumstance, condition, or maybe a reality or a timeline that we don't belong in or was never really meant for us. And so what ends up happening here is we kind of go through this radical shift, not only in our financial trajectory, but also get put on a higher road. But it is going to also take us out of something that maybe we have overcommitted to, that we should not be committed to. After we get a little bit further into the month of May, we've got Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius. And this is lighting up your 12th house of the past, private matters, secrets, hidden opportunities, and old business. Now with Pluto retrograde, it's a mixed bag. It's true neutral. It's all about under the radar matters, blind spot matters, and stones that haven't been turned over, all getting turned over and getting made plain for all to see. Now, for a lot of you, this is actually going to be very helpful because things that could be serving you, especially in the realm of private conversations, private connections, private exchanges, even things that could be helping you, when it comes to maybe getting, taking some warp pipes, as it were, to bigger and better things. We're starting to see how and, under what conditions that's all going to happen. And there may even be some secret help coming your way to facilitate these things. This could be showing up in all kinds of different corners of your world, as the 12th house does tend to affect all areas of our life at the same time. However, with Pluto retrograde here, we may also find out about some things going on under the radar in our life that don't really make us all that happy, especially with regards to the past and old stories, especially when it comes to things that maybe we once believed, things that we were once told, or maybe even old stories that we never knew coming to light and perhaps changing our perspective about the road we've come down to where we are. Whatever the case is, though, with Pluto retrograde, these stones are getting turned over for good reasons and will be for the good. We also have Mars in Leo all month long. And so this is your 6th house of work, reputation, your schedule, business in general, the teams that you're on, the people you serve with, as well as anything around your just life arrangement in general. And with Mars here, this is a time where there is an increased demand, increased intensity, but also increased competitive opportunity coming to you to rise above peers, rivals, colleagues, or maybe even competitive business in order to make a bigger name for yourself. This is also a time where a lot of you may be noticing some glass ceilings or some locked doors can now be opened. However, with Mars here, potential conflict is typically part and parcel with the Mars experience. While you are going to be getting a chance to delve into new investments or maybe new sparks, new important connections, potential conflict can also happen when rivalries, competitive people, possessive people, or obstructive people get rattled. So be ready for a hectic month. We also have mid-month, the Sun and Mercury moving on into Taurus, which is your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, contracts, as well as allies, helpful third parties, and collaborations. And this is going to be helping you to maybe get some important hookups or, again, to shorten journeys that you are looking to take out of spaces that you are occupying. This is a great time for anybody looking to plan on some kind of move or transfer, which is, again, kind of going back to what we saw with the Stellium activity, or also change the way certain agreements, contracts, or commitments work, renegotiate, or maybe even undo a few things if that's what you want to do, especially where accounts or commitments that do not serve are concerned. This is also a time where you could be making some fast gains through the help of maybe a trusted ally or maybe some kind of important collaboration that is going to be providing you with a lot of important hookups as well. Shortly after Mercury enters Taurus, we also have this full moon in Scorpio, trine the North Node in your sign. And there is going to be some kind of important closure or ending of a situation that has been blocking or obscuring a higher path for you. Now, for you, because this is happening in the sign of Scorpio, it is likely that this is bringing to an end some kind of long-term agreement, long-term contract, or maybe even long-term pact or obligation or responsibility that you've held. This could be something that was established a long time ago. This could be something relating to business. It could be relating to family. It could be relating to culture. It could even go back into yesteryear, however it does. But you may find that this has also been standing in the way of the accomplishment of some deeply personal wish or goal. The North Node is in your sign after all. This could be a revelation of a problematic person, a problematic agreement, or a problematic commitment that you are getting a chance to have cleared as we go through the second half of May. And finally, we've got the Sun, Mercury, and a new moon lighting up the sign of Gemini, your fourth house of home, family, living situation, and of course, your home economy. And it's also amplified by Jupiter's presence there. And this is a time where a lot of you are going to be enjoying a rather strong influx of wealth from some kind of income avenue maturing as it relates to a household or family matter. Jupiter is all about luck and money. Mercury likes to make the money come fast. And this could indicate something either proving to bring an accelerated payoff, an increase in household income, or possibly even the maturation of an investment or something that is going to be boosting a home-based business operation, not just for the end of May, but also the beginning of June. So that is what I've got for you Pisces people. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com.